guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in this world. I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, watching, and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about something that I've been thinking about. Actually been thinking about this a lot, and I really want to share this with you guys because a lot of you guys have been asking me this question: why do INFJs exist on this planet? And I thought it was a really good question because I'm thinking to myself, first of all, a lot of us don't reproduce, so survival of the fittest. If you think about evolutionary terms, INFJs a lot of times we're afraid to reproduce because we don't want to bring children on this planet because we know we had kind of toxic or terrible childhoods. So we're like, no, we don't want to do this to someone else. We don't have children. So evolutionary wise, we're really not a good bargain for evolution. Also, I think INFJs in general are very quirky and weird and different. And in general, evolution tries to bring people up to par, or tries to keep people going, the kind of people who are similar in ways, so they can reproduce with each other, they can be friends with each other. In general, I don't think INFJs are a very good bet for evolution in general. I don't think it's a good idea for evolution to keep on bringing INFJs out. But as evolution doesn't make any mistakes, it really doesn't. If you think about anything that it's done, every part of humanity, every part of this world, every part of this universe has been built perfectly, and has all of the different creatures on this planet are here for an absolutely perfect reason. And that's why when we kill off a forest, or we kill off some species, we make some species extinct, it's not just because we're killing that species off, but it means that we're kind of completely screwing up the ecosystem that the whole universe is built upon, because that species, that creature, is very important in that ecosystem. And if you take one of it out, or two of them out, we're basically screwing up the whole system, right? Not to give you a science lesson, but in general, if you think of it as an INFJ thing as well, it's really important that INFJs exist on this planet. Why? Well, in my opinion, this is why I think INFJs should exist. I think we should exist, and I think the reason why evolution hasn't killed us off, because it should have been very easy to kill INFJs off. I mean, maybe that's why we're so rare, because we are being killed off, maybe. Or we're so rare because we're building up. I think evolution is building us up. We're a new creature in general. We're a new spiritually awakened creature. And little by little, we're going to grow in capacity. We're going to grow in numbers and things like that. That's what I think. I don't think that we're being killed off. I think we're growing in numbers. And that's why there are more and more INFJs coming up, even though we're still very rare, right? And the reason I think evolution hasn't killed us off, the reason we exist on this planet, I think, is to balance people like Trump and Trump supporters, to balance the stupid in this world, to balance the dumb in this world, to balance the consciously dead in this world, the consciously, just the people who are just spiritually dead, who are consciously just so stupid that you look at them and you're like, how do you even exist on this planet? People who were perpetuated by the movie Idiocracy. If you haven't watched that movie, please watch that movie. Seriously, it makes me, every single time I see that movie, I realize, wow. People, oh man. Brilliant movie, right? Really satirical, but really brilliant. Maybe not satirical anymore. It's actually coming true now. But I think it's to balance the stupid in this world. I think INFJs exist exactly for that entire good purpose. Now, not only INFJs, but INTJs, INFPs, people, all of us, these kind of people. We exist because we need to balance out the stupid in this world. If you've watched anything that's going on the planet right now, you are probably thinking that there are a lot of stupid people on this planet. And not only that, but there's a lot of really cruel people on this planet. A lot of people who are thinking there is no humanity in them. A lot of people who are thinking, how are you even alive? For example, recently I read a post by pro-Trump supporters, right? And there was this child who was put in a cage, a 4-year-old, or like a baby who was put in a cage because he was separated from his mother, and he was put in a cage because obviously if you're a person of color and if you're a refugee, then you must be really dangerous, especially if you're a child. I mean, for God's sake, that 4-year-old, Anyways, so he was put in in a cage, and there was a picture, and there was some comments below by pro-Trump supporters. Just people in general. And I think to myself, how are you? Anyways, so some of these comments said things like, take a baseball bat and break his fingers so he can't have his hands on the cage and he can't get out. Or break his knuckle, something like that. Oh my god. And the minute I read that, I was like, Anyways, and then there were comments like, "Oh, I need a servant. Can you send it over to me? I need someone to clean my house." Or things like, "Oh, we need organ donors and keep them in the cage, and just keep them in the cage forever until a white American needs an organ," or things like that, right? I mean, I want to believe that these people are just trying to be funny. I want to believe that these people are just trying to be something. I have no idea what they're trying to be. Maybe they're trying to show off to the world that, oh, I don't care. You can do whatever the hell you want. Maybe they're just so numbed inside that they're like, well, if something more happens like this, I'm just gonna pretend like it doesn't bother me. Maybe, hopefully, I want to believe that. But I really, really, really believe that, the reason why we exist as INFJs, INFPs, just people in general, spiritually awakened people, is because we need to balance this madness out in the world, guys. We really do. I know a lot of times you guys are probably sitting there and thinking to yourself, I wish I didn't exist, because it's really hard to exist in this world right now, especially with all this stuff going on, because we can feel all the energies and we can feel energetically all of this stuff. I know that you guys are sitting there and you're looking at the world and you're looking at what's going on in the US and in Sudan and all those other places, and you're thinking, your heart really hurts. And I know that because my heart really hurts as well. I understand, it's sad, and there's no other way to kind of look at it. There's a lot of crap going on in this world, and it's very saddening. And a lot of times, I do think myself as well that it would be better if I didn't exist. It would be better if I could just end it all, right? But the thing is that, and I really, this is the reason I wanted to do this video really badly, especially right now, is because there is a purpose for us. There is a reason why we're here. There is an absolutely important reason why we're here, guys. Can you imagine this world if we weren't here to ratify and to balance out what the hell is going on here? If people like us didn't exist and speak up about all this crap, if I didn't sit here and talk about it and make people aware of this stuff, if someone else didn't sit there and talk about it and make people aware of it, if we just sat around and talked like these people did, if everyone was like them, can you imagine the world that we would live in? I mean, I can't, but I think what would happen if there were only people like that there'd be a nuclear war and they'd just kill each other. That would be the end of that. I really think that's the way it would go if there were only people like that. But the good thing is that evolution realizes that. The universe realizes this. They know that they can't just have stupid, dumb people like that on this planet, because if they did, literally the planet would go to shit. It is already going to shit in a lot of ways, but at least there is some kind of balance here right now. There are good people on this planet who are trying to balance things out, who are doing good, right? And there are people on this planet who are like clueless and just destroying the world in general. But we have balance right now, I believe. The balance is kind of tipping in the direction of the dumb and stupid people. Sometimes it feels like that. But that's because a lot of people like us, INFJs and INFPs and INTJs, people like us, have kind of given up hope for the world. And that's the reason I want to really do these videos all the time and tell you guys not to lose hope. Because if you guys lose hope and if you give up on life, a lot of times I've heard you guys say, it would be better if I just killed myself. But if you guys did that, then can you imagine what's going to happen to the world? I don't want to use the example of Mother Teresa or Nelson Mandela or things like that, but these people, they were in the pits of despair. I mean, they could have completely given up and be like, what's the point? It doesn't really matter anyways. I should just give up, kind of thing, right? They didn't. They didn't, guys. They didn't. I mean, even if they could just do one little thing, they did. They did the best they could every single day. They did as much as they could every single day. And that's why they're remembered. Not because they gave up hope and killed themselves, but because they kept hope despite the fact that there were so many reasons for them not to have hope. Nelson Mandela was in prison for what, 17, 20, 30 years? I have no idea. A long time. It would have been very easy for him to give up hope and think, okay, you know what? It's all going to shit. I'm not going to care anymore. The same thing with Mother Teresa. I mean, there were in Kolkata where she was. There are a lot of poor people. There are a lot of people who are dying of poverty, of all these diseases, of leprosy and all that stuff. And it would have been very easy for her to say, well, I'm not going to save them all, so why should I even bother, right? And that's what a lot of us think a lot of times too. Well, I'm not going to be able to save them all, so why should I even care? Why should I even care? It doesn't matter anyways. I mean, they're all idiots. Why should I care? But we need to care. And that's the whole point of this video. I really want to get this across, because if we don't care, if we don't keep hope, then this world is going to hell. It's going to shit. And we cannot do this, guys. We cannot do this. We have a responsibility towards this world. The world, the evolution, the universe did all of its, did it put a lot of effort. They put a lot of effort so that we could be alive right now. Do you know how easy it was for you to die and never be born at all? I mean, there's a billion ways for miscarriages to happen. There's a billion ways your parents' pregnancy could never have happened. There's a billion ways your ancestors could have been completely annihilated. Dinosaurs and mammoths and blah blah blah, a billion different things to kill them. There's 100 billion diseases on this planet that can take you out at any moment. But you're still here. You're still here watching this video. Why? Why? Do you think because you're just lucky? No, because there's a reason for it. And I want to believe that there's a reason for it, not just that random things happen and I'm just randomly here for no random reason, right? No, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. I am here for a purpose. You're here for a purpose. Every little creature on this planet is here for a purpose, right? Everything. The more I live in nature, the more I look around, the more I realize everything has a purpose. Everything. The moths have a purpose. The insects have a purpose. All of the different ants and beetles and everything. It's so interesting how it all just balances out and it just works in synchronicity so that everything is just beautiful. It's just beautiful, right? There are a lot of creatures that die in my apartment, in my bungalow. Not that I kill them, because that's one of my things. I don't kill any bug that comes into my apartment. I just kind of take them out and put them outside. But sometimes they'll just come inside and they die inside for some reason. I have no idea why. Recently, a grasshopper, beautiful. It was this big. I mean, it was huge. And I was like, whoa, you're huge. Beautiful green grasshopper, right? He came inside. I don't know what he was doing inside, but I think he just came inside to die, really, because he came inside and a few hours later, he was dead. And how I knew he was dead because he was upside down, right? He was on the ground upside down. And it was really interesting because as soon as he died, a billion bugs came over, insects, ants, beetles, roaches, blah, 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 and they all came in, and within a few seconds, he was gone. I don't know if he was taken apart or how it was, but he was gone, and maybe he was a food for someone else. I have no idea what happened there. But nature, right? I mean, you can think of it as a terrible thing. Oh my God! But also, it's also a synchronous thing. Like, it just works out perfectly. They cleaned it out. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to pick him up. I didn't have to put him outside. I didn't have to do a funeral. They took care of it. The bugs take care of each other. Like, that happens all the time all around us, right? Everything is so synchronous. Everything works in synchronicity. Everything works complementary. Everything just works together. And as humans, we ruin it all. We come in and we take a creature out, or we do our stupid things and we ruin that balance, right? And that's what I really want us to be careful about, is that I don't want us to ruin this balance here right now. The reason why we're here, we're the ones who are going to speak up about this stuff. We're not going to be the ones who say, oh, let's beat that guy up and let that boy up. He's useless anyways. He's just going to be a servant, or he's just an organ donor. I mean, things like that. Who says things like this? I mean, I just sat there and I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't help myself because there was I just felt so much pain. I felt so much pain because not only because this person who's saying all these horrible things is saying because, there's pain inside of him that he's trying to put on someone else, but also because of pain, because of that little child who was by himself. Pain because this world that we live in is going in that direction. Pain because whatever we do, as much as we do, sometimes it might not be enough. And that is something that we need to know as well, is that sometimes you will do your level best and it won't be enough and the world will still go to shit. But you have to still try. You still have to try. You just have to put your level best in, because that's all we're here to do. We have to put our level best. And we can't just be like, oh, well, it's not going to work out anyways. No. I want to know that on my deathbed, I did the best I could, even if nothing happens because of it, even if everything still goes to absolute shit, even if the world just ends because of it, or in spite of it. I still want to believe on my deathbed, I did the best I could. I did my level best, and that's all we can all do. But we have to exist in order to do our level best. We cannot kill ourselves. We can't destroy our lives. We have to do our level best to exist. And I think that's the reason we do exist, is to balance it out. Balance, yeah? That's my opinion. I'd love to hear you guys, your opinions and what you guys think about it. I know I've kind of blabbered on for a while, but this topic is really important to me, and I know I talk a lot. But if you guys have any opinions on the matter, if you guys have any issues or things that you want to share with me, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys want to message me privately, all of my contact information is in the description below. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being on my channel. Thank you for listening to me blab on. Yeah? Thank you so much. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.